With the big boys of the industry telling us that games as a service is on the way, it would seem that traditional gaming is done and the glory days are long past us. But I'm under the impression that I'm the only one who thinks games as a service is going to be a good thing.
Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper.
With the frontrunners of the industry using it as their latest buzzword, naturally the internet and gamers alike are flooding to the comment sections and Twitter to share their outrage on how this is destroying the industry and games as we know it. In a few years' time, we're all going to be hooked on different subscription services and paying time and time again for the same game. Content will be drip-fed to us through different seasons throughout the year, and our beloved single-player titles will cease to be a thing. This is the opinion of many online when it comes to games as a service, but nobody is thinking long-term and seeing the overall benefits that are bound to come from this. Industries work by conforming to the market demands, and over the past decade, arguably since Modern Warfare dropped and multiplayer became the new in thing, that has what the market has demanded. Online multiplayer services. Naturally, the industry has found different ways to exploit these new demands for further monetization, in the form of DLC, online passes, collector's editions, gold editions, ultimate editions, super ultimate gold editions, season passes, microtransactions. You get this, you know. I don't know why I'm saying this. But throughout the years of paying for extra premium content has also come the fatigue of just that. How many of you are now waiting for the full Game of the Year editions to drop a year after the season passes have finished, to get the game at a complete version and at a cheaper rate? How many of you wait for the entire season of whatever Telltale has just made to drop? Not everyone for sure, but it is a growing trend. And we saw just a short while ago with Battlefront 2 what I believe to be the first collective fuck you to the big cats at the top. Now yes, we've been complaining for years about publishers and their microtransaction bullshit, but never before have we come together as a collective community, both toxic gamers and good alike, to stand together as one and say no. Enough. EA's monumental overreach started a movement and showed that we really can speak with our wallets. We've known this all along, but this was the first time that it actually happened. And what was their response? EA began to panic and ran back under its bridge with Battlefront 2's predatory practices. And they actually changed it. Now, coming back to the present, with all of that in the past, publishers are still moving forward with games as a service. They think it's a brilliant idea, and by all means, we should let them. They believe that by encouraging us to log in every day for our daily bonuses and weekly rewards, we'll end up playing a few rounds and spend a little cash while we're at it. But just ask yourselves, how on earth is anybody meant to log into Battlefield, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Battlegrounds, Siege, Sea of Thieves, and whatever else is in the pipeline? You cannot sustain games as a service, as people, for one, just do not have the time to commit to multiple games daily. And two, who the hell can afford to buy multiple full-priced games in a month, and with the added taxes of season passes and microtransactions? It's totally unsustainable, and if an idiot like me on the internet can recognise that, then the guys at the top making the decisions can too. It's not a long goal for them. It physically can't be. It's the last-ditch hurrah, the final go all-in cash grab. Now, I'm not suggesting that the multiplayer bubble is going to burst. It's not going anywhere. However, the idea that single-player games are done and that games as a service is the future, it's nothing but a marketing concept. If the consumer thinks that this is games nowadays, then they'll just jump on board and get on the wagon. This is how people at the top think. They don't want you to see the successes of Senua's Sacrifice, God of War, the new Spider-Man, and inevitably how well Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to sell. And that's not even mentioning the single-player game that the entire industry is waiting for with Cyberpunk. Hell, even the massive success of Crash Remastered has led to Spyro getting the exact same treatment. Mascot platformers are crushing the game in 2018 and breaking records. Who would have thought of that? Now, this might sound a little corny, but I genuinely believe that we are on the horizon of another single-player boom, a golden age of storytelling within video games. The industry tells us that those days are gone, and that we have to pay for our content moving forward, time and time again. But the recent successes that I've just previously mentioned have shown that's not exactly what we want, that's not what the consumer wants. So I say we let the industry pursue its final cash grab, its final all-in to get in as much money out of us as possible. It's only going to dissuade their customers who once more, just like with Battlefront 2, will vote with their wallets and say no. Enough. Single-player success stories are just going to continue over the next decade. They're going to continue to shock and beat expectations, and the market demands are going to shift. The competition will come flooding in, and when game devs and publishers are competing for the next big thing, fresh ideas and IPs will come with them. Everybody wins. So let's let them run with games as a service. How I even welcome it at this point, just so I can open the metaphoric door, say no thank you, and close it. Somebody else is going to come knock in with an idea and an experience that I want to pay for, and at that point, I will. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you listened to me ramble on all this time, thank you very much. You've fed my ego for the day. Whether you agree with me or just think I'm an optimistic idiot on the internet, it's probably the second one. But good job. Be sure to check out another video that we have. None of them are like this. This is the first one we've done. So, I mean, there's probably nothing else here that you'll like if you didn't like this. So it's probably best that you go find something else.